basketball season again. Women's hoops is doing pretty decent. You got softball, you got baseball. Enjoy that. Then spring football comes. We'll see who's here, see who's working around, and then the summer, and then we'll talk all the time. And then, like I said, maybe he opens up some spring practices, some two-a-days. But right now, he's here, and I mean.
Hey, folks, we might have broke the internet. We were getting so many people on here, and it looks like our stream crashed, and we tried to pick it back up. It was an overload there. I guess we got or maybe some people just didn't like what we were saying, but it's okay. You'll come back on and we'll kind of catch it. And I just wanted to recap really fast for everybody had dropped off. So we'll call this Buddy Martin Show behind the scenes. This is the after party. But we have a new coach. The orange and blue smoke is coming out of the top of the swamp right now. The new coach has been officially named, and we're discussing the character and is this a good fit for Florida, and also lamenting on how the Lane Kiffin thing has gone down. And I just wanted to say, and I don't want to take too much of everyone's time, and I just want to say thanks for everyone. I know it's a Sunday, it's a day off, but I want to speak to everybody out there in a very serious note that sometimes you've got to realize when somebody's a narcissist, and sometimes you got to realize that after you like them. Sometimes they're your friend, sometimes they're your family member, and sometimes they're your wife or their husband or your child or whoever it is. But there comes a time where you've got to realize that you're sort of in a toxic deal there. And I just feel like in the end of the day, when Lane Kiffin handled himself on the exit here or whatever he's doing really was not going to be on brand with Florida football. And I don't think that is really what Florida football needed. Now, did I want Lane Kiffin in his offensive mind? Absolutely. Do I want the rest of Lane Kiffin? No, because I'm 51 years old and I know what Lane Kiffin before was all about. And I lived through those times. And I remember 4 years ago when LSU didn't want to sniff Lane Kiffin. So I'm just saying right now is not the time to sit there and badger this whole choice. I think sometimes you have to learn that maybe you may not like Sumrall, you may not agree with the hire, but you have to agree that maybe, as Lauren was saying, that maybe you should look at your own self and realize that you like toxic people or something like that, because that was a clearly toxic scenario going into somebody who just, I don't know. I just don't feel like that was the next level kind of guy that we'd want to come in. And lastly, Jon, you're such a good friend with him, or you know him so well, and I'd like to hear more about it. But just when you hear guys like Urban Meyer and stuff like that, those are the people in your orbit. Then I know that you are not soft. Okay, I know that because Urban Meyer does not put you in his orbit if you are a coach or whatever that you think somebody is not real. And I think the Urban Meyer mentality is exactly what Florida needed. To turn this thing around. And if you're saying what you're saying, and I'll let you say it again, is that Sumrall is definitely, and Lauren said this too, it's definitely that kind of coach. And I think that's encouraging. And I want to be encouraging at this point with this. Oh, and
let me throw something out there.
Conspiracy theories. They're coming after us from telling
what makes somebody think that Kiffin, without a quarterback at LSU, could win a national championship in 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got issues too, man. It just see you Tuesday, Rob. It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. There's John's gonna join us back there, John.
Hey, sorry about that, guys.
I'm gonna let John take it because I know he's got a lot more to say.
But yeah,
I gotta get off.
This, but about John too.
Thank you, John. Larry.
He is. I think I can say this on here. He's not from the Silver Spoon or the Lucky Sperm Club. Jon Sumrall is a self-made person. He grinded the hard way. Like I said, he came up through the University of San Diego, spent 2 or 3 years there. He's been places where you have to do more with less, and with SEC resources and everything that he is going to have. And he's not new to it. Obviously, spent time at Kentucky, spent time at Ole Miss. I think he is going to thrive in this environment. And if you look at the fan bases, the Kentucky fans, the Ole Miss fans, the Auburn fans are all up in a roar now. Why in the hell didn't we get Jon Sumrall? So, again, I don't think you would have that uproar at 3 fellow SEC schools if there weren't a whole lot of substance here to what the Gators are getting.
Yeah, exactly. And another thing.
When did you meet him the first time, John? When did you?
His older brother and I worked together when I first got to Ole Miss in 2003. His older brother was a fundraiser. He and I actually arrived at Ole Miss within a week of each other and became good friends. And his older brother eventually got out of college athletics, but I became friends with the family, and we just stayed in touch and obviously followed a lot of things in his career. He used me as a sounding board. He still uses me as a sounding board from time to time. So, and he's done, I've seen him again since the time he was a high school player, and it's great to see him get this opportunity. And unequivocally, I have no doubt he is going to continue his trajectory of success at the University of Florida, just like he's had everywhere he's been.
Yeah. Well, I think you got to be excited now, and Rob, and John, and I like look what was on the table, right? I think it's important to know what was on the table. You didn't get Kiffin, AD, and big money, and you got together, and we all know something was said, and I don't want to quote anybody because I don't know anybody. I don't know anything for sure, so I don't like to throw things out there. But something was said that the Gators are off Florida, and that they were going to move on because there wasn't apparently a decision made before the Egg Bowl, and so then they kind of go into the weekend knowing that was not going to happen. The things didn't happen at Auburn, and then he lands here. I think, and I just want to know, Rob, do you think that this would be the best? And John, the best guy for Florida that was available, because end of the day, Florida needed a coach, and you didn't get Lane. So what was left? Do you think that was the best option? I'll go with you, Rob.
Absolutely. Another thing you're going to find out about Kiffin, and the Ole Miss people have said this for 6 years, he doesn't go to the alumni events. He's not a rah-rah guy. He doesn't give a damn about that. He's, Kiffin he's going to go to LSU. He, by God, better embrace their culture. He's gone from being in the Navy to being on another level of the Navy, maybe a SEAL or something. Florida, if you didn't get Kiffin, it was an offensive great. I think Sumrall is the best thing out there, and I feel like I'm about to throw up that Auburn didn't get him. I'm as an Auburn fan, the misery continues, and it's like, damage control. This is the guy that Arkansas wanted. Ole Miss was trying to come. John, you talk about that. I'll let John tell you what's going on. Florida got the guy that everybody else wanted that didn't get Kiffin.
Here's what I'll say, and we talk about this on SEC sidelines all the time. I mean, obviously, you've got to have skills and characteristics that make you a good coach, but the fit is really, really important. And is Jon Sumrall going to be a great fit at UCLA or the University of Washington or Michigan? No, probably not. But I would argue that Jon Sumrall in the Southeastern Conference and at the University of Florida is an unbelievable fit. And Rob alluded to a little while ago, and I should have mentioned this earlier, his relationship with the high school coaches, specifically in the state of Alabama, unparalleled. There is not a coach who has the kind of relationships that he does. And I know he's got some relationships in the state of Florida, but I promise you in the next 6 months, he will be out there pounding the pavement and at functions and things to develop those same types of relationships with the high school coaches in the state of Florida. That's just who he is. He knows that's his bread and butter. And I'll say that he'll be even better at it because, at Troy and to some extent at Tulane as well. He had to rely on the junior college ranks. He had to rely on a lot of other things where when you're a premier program like the University of Florida and you've got the resources they've got, you're not having to just, grind through and find somebody that may be a developmental kid or somebody who went under the radar screen from other kids. You have the ability to pursue and to sign the very elite of elite prospects. And, I think he's going to thrive in that situation.
Yeah.
Well, I just, I mean, it's like you're not going to, you didn't get your guy. I understand. I just reading the chat and I'm listening to John, and that's just like, then you got to get, what's going to be the next best thing. And what I'm hearing, because I'd like to just listen, and from Rob too, it's like, this is the guy everybody wanted, and this is going to be a great fit, for Florida. And I just don't understand. I guess in a lot of ways, it's like, I just want to ask you, John, is that can you tell me more about what you think his staff could potentially look like, or any changes that he can make offensive coordinator? I know you mentioned a few things to Buddy before. Your audio was a little lower. I just wondered if you could kind of run through that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to speak for him, but I know some of the guys who've been associated with him. Obviously, we talked about Neil Brown and his association with him all the way back to their playing days at the University of Kentucky. He's got some other guys that have been involved. Offensive line guy named Matt Moore, who has been several places, is highly regarded in the business. And he's got a really good staff with him at Tulane right now. But again, I think being at Florida and having the resources available to him and the people who want to work for Jon Sumrall. I mean, I'm not going to name names, but here in the last probably week to 10 days, I've had at least 7 current coaches at FBS levels, assistant coaches at various places who know about my relationship with Jon, who said, "Hey, man, if he gets one of these SEC jobs, I love what he does. I love what he stands for. I'd love to be on his staff." And that is a feeling out there that permeates throughout the coaching society that I think, again, speaks volumes for the person that he is and what people see that he's already accomplished and know that he is going to accomplish in the future.
Yeah, and I just read one of the comments. Sumrall's the guy that all the bottom tier programs in the SEC want. All right, Einstein. The reason those programs are looking for a coach, I don't think LSU's bottom tier. Auburn didn't used to be. They are now. Ole Miss, they wanted Sumrall. John, we talked about it. Ole Miss was going back after Sumrall and Golish, going, oh, my God. The team that got screwed the most in all of this is Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
I mean, they got screwed so bad. And I tell you what, Arkansas, all these schools, Sumrall is the guy. You talk, okay.
He was everybody's, a lot of number ones, and he was number 2 for Florida, I think, probably, and maybe Auburn. I don't know.
Yeah, I think people need to quit trying to compare him to Billy Napier. There's not any comparison.
So how would you compare the two? Without, I mean, respectfully,
fairly, yeah,
like a persona and what and can you? I don't even know if that's.
Yeah, I don't know if that's really a fair comparison, because I was in the Sun Belt, where Billy was back from 12 to 15. I was the AD at Troy, and then went to ULM in 23. So not there directly when Billy was there, but I would say this. I would say, John's personality is a little different, much more engaging, but Jon Sumrall is a hard ass too. He's got a great combination of being a hard ass grinder, but he's witty as hell. I promise you, no one is going to be bored in any interview with Jon Sumrall. I'd say, hey, go back there and look at some of the clips from the last couple of months of Jon, and that's something he's always had, that wit, not in a smart ass way necessarily, although he can be if he needs to, but just a witty person who again people relate to.
And also, if you're wondering about the way Jon Sumrall has been coaching the last few games, I mean, he's had a little bit on his. This is what I hate about these coaching searches. They're distracting from the teams themselves. And again, you look at Ole Miss, best season in 60 plus years, and it's just been ruined by the narcissist Lane Kiffin. And he's going to go to LSU. He's going to be under a lot more pressure than he was at Ole Miss. So that's going to be fun to watch. But I just think about a guy like Jon Sumrall. He is different in a lot of in way more ways than you want to think about than Billy Napier. I think he's going to be a lot more engaging, a lot more outgoing. You ask him, does the dress make me look fat kind of guy? Yeah, it makes you look fat, or it doesn't. Jon, you know him, and I've been fascinated. Read the Athletic article in the last few weeks about Jon Sumrall and what his program at Tulane is like. There's two coaches that I was the most excited about. It was Ryan Silverfield at Memphis and Sumrall. They communicate at 4:30 in the morning in the office. Nobody's going to outwork them. Now, you say, well, Billy Napier worked hard. He came from Louisiana. He won 41 games in 4 years. Well, he did it at one school. Jon Sumrall did it at Troy, 21-3. He went to Tulane. I guess he's going to be the highest ranked Group of 5 school. They're getting the playoffs. Did Billy Napier sniff the God Bless America college playoff? I don't think so. And I understand people have their opinions and all. But again, when the Hindenburg crashed and Curt Cignetti was announced at Indiana, who was excited about that hire other than people who really know football? Honestly, John, Brendan, and that's Curt Cignetti. Ask Pete Cordelli. He'll be on our show tomorrow morning with Ellis Johnson and Dave Bartu. He's known his dad. I mean, he coached at Indiana University of Pennsylvania. Go back and do your history. Now, Billy Napier had a lot of positives. I'm not saying he's a bad guy. Jon Sumrall is not from Kentucky. He's from Huntsville, Alabama, went to Grissom High School. Jon Sumrall has been recruiting this area for a long time, competing with the big group Power 4 schools. He ain't going to back down from a challenge. When you see Jon Sumrall walk in a room, that dude, he won't back down from a barroom brawl. He's completely different than what you may think he is. John, you know him, but I've been studying him and watching him. He's alpha male culture, and he's going to coach these kids hard, and all non-hackers will be weeded out in practice so they don't blow it in games. He is Gunnery Sergeant Hartman. That's the kind of coach he's going to be. Remember him from Full Metal Jacket? That's what you're getting in Sumrall.
Yeah, well, and what a lot of people don't realize is, and I just looked at the latest rankings coming out. I mean, they're ranked 21st in the country. It's not like they're, a nobody. They did have, I'm trying to remember who it was. I know they beat Duke and Northwestern. They have 2 Power 4 wins on the year. Not, neither one of those are SEC schools. Yeah. But again, he's recruited at the SEC level at multiple institutions. He's had success in the SEC. It's not like he is jumping into uncharted territory.
Yeah. And I think that's just, it's just so important right now. I think for any school, for a new hire, we've been through this at Florida a couple of times, but understand and listen to the people that know football. If you're watching this show, you got to trust there's enough people on here that know football. At least one of us is going to know what we're talking about, and also know what's going on. This is a good hire, okay? This could be a better hire in the long run, depending on who he surrounds himself with. But you're going to want a guy that's got this background to come in and give the the velvet hammer, and it seems like he's got a lot of that going now. With all of these things happening, amongst all the dominoes are falling around, where coaches are going to end up and all these things, it's just sort of the new landscape, right? And people have to understand we are ushering in sort of a new era of coaching, a new younger injection of these guys coming up, because we're losing the Sabans and we're losing some of these, Urban Meyers and all these guys. The new guys are going to be coming up from all sorts of different places. Just because Billy was a Sunbelt Billy and all that doesn't mean that this is going to be the same thing. Just because you put D on your Scantron and your next answer is D doesn't mean it's incorrect. Okay? The dogs know what I'm talking about. So yeah. I think this really, I think this is I feel like a really good hire for Florida. And I'm excited to see the difference it can make, especially with the full roster. Jon Hartwell, is that your cue to I wanted to say, first of all, thank you so much for joining us today and your time. We've been going forever and a day, and we got a full week of shows, and Rob came on, and I've been slave driving everybody all weekend. So
I love it. It's what we're here for, man. Only easy day was yesterday.
Tell us a little bit more about College Sports Solutions. Anything, if people want to get more information on that kind of stuff. Well, no, there you go.
Yes. Sorry, I apologize about my own rendition of Who Let the Dogs Out.
Dogs are welcome here.
We love dogs.
Love dogs.
Yeah. No, College Sports Solutions, like I said, I joined about 3.5 months ago. Full service consulting in college athletics. I'm primarily concentrating on the financial components for various clients out there in the collegiate space, as well as coaching searches going on. We actually have a coaching search going on right now, doing the Weber State, which is an FCS school out in Ogden, Utah, the home of Damian Lillard. I guess that's their claim to fame in terms of professional athletes. But yeah, and obviously, as Rob said, been with you guys, 3 years now on the show, and appreciate that opportunity. So, still coming off of 30 years directly involved in intercollegiate athletics or doing that, but and 10 years in the SEC at Ole Miss, but appreciate the opportunity to remain involved. And, as we've talked about, all these things going on, love or hate NIL and transfer portal and all of that stuff, the popularity of college athletics has never been greater. I mean, I don't agree with how Lane Kiffin handled this whole thing, but look at what it's done in terms of people mesmerized. It's almost like, in a totally different way. It's almost like the Bronco chase with OJ. People were just like glued to their TVs and, wanting to know what Lane was doing. And so glad to, love being involved in it.
Well, thank you so much for being on our show. You're going to be doing a lot of, you're going to be a part of a lot of our future going down the road as we expand. Lots of fun things. Jon's going to be heavy in that on that process. Thanks for coming in, Jon. We'll talk to you more in this week. And thanks for joining us on a Sunday. And pet those dogs. They sound hungry. Get them the good stuff, Jon. Don't mess around with that crappy dry food. You got to go get
No old Roy. Yes.
No, they hear me. They're barking again. Go feed the dogs, right?
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Jon Hartwell. Thanks for the super chat. $2 came in from Colton Silcox. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm not going to say that. It's probably one of those things. But thanks for the $2. I don't care if it's a knock or not, but I'll take $2.
$2.
Buku kaka.
Yeah.
Kaka.
Hey,
we can say what we want here, Rob. We can say anything.
How crazy is it going to be tomorrow morning?
Tomorrow, Rob, what's going to happen? Monday morning. Hour of Power
at 9 a.m. Eastern. We'll have SEC Sidelines in the morning kickoff. Coach Ellis Johnson will join us. Coach Pete Cordelli, Dave Bartu, College Football Matrix, and hempforpros.com. Got a lot to cover. Brendan, this is never work. And look, I'm not the Gator Media. Y'all know Gator Media, but you are objective and you tell it like you see it. I'll just say this. You know what? Jon Hartwell, I've known Jon for 3 years. Jon knows Sumrall. That's the guy everybody else wanted if you didn't get Kiffin. But the one thing about Kiffin, every Ole Miss fan said the last 6 years, other than him being a great coach, there's nothing really special. He doesn't get into your school, to the pep rallies, to the Gator caravan. He doesn't love all that stuff. He's a narcissist. Remember, zebras never change their stripes, just their watering holes. That is Lane Kiffin. He's a zebra, and he'll go to Baton Rouge. He'll probably have success, but I'm going to tell you something. He has never won. He's won one SEC road game since he's been a head coach. One, and that was at Oklahoma this year. So, no, he's got whatever. He's got Jon Sumrall has the keys to the Gator Kingdom. Zebras. There we
He's
go.
a zebra.
Yeah, that's right.
I got zebra around the screen for you.
That's
It's
right.
zebra
Thanks
now.
for doing this, Brendan. This was so
Yeah.
much fun with
Hey,
your dad
listen.
and Lauren and John and you. What an honor. I love it.
Yeah. Well, it is. At least it's over for right now, and we can probably I can stop getting so many text messages. Now I'm going to get some drunk dials later, I'm sure. From and listen, I like to do a show sometimes and just let everyone bitch.
Yeah,
I get it,
it's
and
okay.
I give everybody a day to bitch. So I'll probably have that during this week or something like that. We can get on late night and do a later Gator.
Yeah.
And we'll just bitch and complain and whine as Gators, and that's fine. But right now, I think we came out, it's better to have him than to not. So tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, right here on this channel. Check it out. Facebook, everywhere else. If you don't know, you don't know. And check out these QR codes right here. Follow Rob on Twitter, and all of our shows are on there as well. So thanks to all our sponsors, right, Rob, and everybody who's involved. Thanks to Buddy Martin for coming on. Thanks to Lauren Meadows. Big shout out to John Hartwell. Who else? Did they miss anybody?
No, I mean, it was great stuff. And look, I agree with it. I love the fans' comments, whether you hate us, you love us, or whatever.
Yeah.
You got it. We have freedom of speech on this show.
Get it out.
Grudges. You're mad at us. That's fine. We're just going to tell you what we think. We try to be this truth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Truth brokers. And then like you can come in. It's like we're like a virtual like rage room. You can just rage out.
We're going to have Roman Harper. I've been texting with him. He's going to be on the show Friday.
Oh, that'll
Roman.
be fun. What day?
Oh, Roman and I made a bet on the Iron Bowl. I owe him a steamer pack of crystals.
Oh, when's he coming on?
Coming on Friday. Be on Friday. So we're going to have a lot of people on this week. But, man, thank you, Brendan. This was awesome.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks, everybody. Good night, John Boy. We'll see you tomorrow.
Good night, John Boy.